Hi, I'm Terry Luc, Director of Communications here at Our Lady of Perpetual Help Church in Glenview. It's time for another fireside chat. Joining us, of course, is our pastor, Father Jeremiah Boland.
Hello,
and
Terry.
Today we're going to be talking about Lent, but before we do that, Father, it seems like just yesterday was Christmas. Maybe you can give us a quick recap on how the season went.
We had a glorious Christmas here at OLPH. If you remember, Christmas Day was spring-like. It was the birds were chirping and the sun was shining, and we had record crowds at all of our liturgies. Tremendous turnout. I just love Christmas because families are together. You see college kids that have been away since the summer. So it was a great reunion, and really the liturgies couldn't have been better. My hats off particularly to our music ministry and to our Arts and Environment Committee for the terrific job they did in decorating the church, the Palladium, and McDonald Hall. Grateful to the priests and deacons who delivered such beautiful homilies during the Christmas season. God was very good to us. I'm also very grateful for the generosity of the parishioners. We were getting far behind our budgeted goals, and our Fix the Gap appeal was very successful. We made up a lot of distance there, and then the Christmas collection met our budgeted goals. So we enter this new year hopefully renewed spiritually and healthier financially, and I look forward to the coming months when our mission will continue to flourish.
That's excellent. And then, Christmas happens, but the parish never slows down, right? We had a very cold January, but so many events, and one of the events that was really kind of interesting was our book club meeting. Maybe you can talk about that a little bit.
Yes, we have a great tradition of book clubs here at Our Lady of Perpetual Help. Father Patty Tyrrell was kind of the father of book clubs, and he would spend hours fretting about what book should he suggest and recommend. And Father Barrett has taken up the mantle of continuing the book club conversations. This most recent book was written by Father Jim Martin called Building Bridges, and it's a book that reflects on his ministry to the LGBTQ community. And that topic is very controversial, and it certainly drew a lot of energy in the parish regarding this topic. And we had a wonderful conversation at the book club meeting itself. I think we had an all-time biggest turnout for a book club meeting. Very thoughtful conversation. This is a very sensitive and complex issue in church life these days, and we have many parishioners who are walking with gay and lesbian, transgendered sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, best friends, co-workers, and this is the first step in beginning to dialogue within our own parish about this topic. I look forward to future conversations down the road. But Father Martin is a very good friend of Father Basbas, and he produced a video greeting to us that was very nice of him to do. And I'm very grateful for the honesty and the quality of the conversation that took place that night.
That's excellent. It's so important, too. Well, let's turn to Easter and Lent, the Lenten season. I know the last couple seasons you were in the Holy Land. They're very meaningful to you personally. And maybe you could talk about this year's theme, No Greater Love, which is a beautiful theme, and how you feel about that one.
Yes, I really love the theme for this year's Lenten season because the weeks of Lent, reflect on Jesus' journey to Jerusalem. And we will be following each week the events that led to his passion, death, and resurrection. And we will be looking at, from the eyes of faith, the tremendous love. God gave us his only Son, and Jesus gave his life in order for us to live. And so as we focus on this aspect of the Lenten message, there's enormous potential there for healing, for new life, for reforming and transforming our lives. How do we become a more authentic Christian? What can we do so that by Easter Sunday, we're at a better place than we were on Ash Wednesday. Ash Wednesday was very powerful here on campus. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people beginning their Lenten journey, being signed with the ashes. And I hope and pray that we'll have a great Lent. Every year, I'm just aware of the power of people's hearts being changed. It's just very apparent as the Lenten days give way to our direction of Easter. And it's going to be fantastic. And I pray for all of you that this will be a gracious and love-filled Lenten season.
And Ash Wednesday again the attendance was wonderful, and you even go to the train station to help the commuters, right?
Right. I've started this tradition a number of years ago, and it's very interesting to me. So many of our parishioners, hop on the train and they work downtown or wherever, and they're always startled to see me, and I really have such wonderful conversations as we're waiting for the train to come. And then some of the conversations are with people that come up to you thinking, are you okay? Are you some kind of fanatic? Or, one man wanted to know why I was blessing trains. And I said, I'm blessing the people going on the trains. But it becomes an evangelization moment of why we do use ashes. What does this season of Lent mean to someone who's not Christian? So it's a great experience. I've also gone to the courthouse. The Skokie Courthouse is another place that I try to get to on Ash Wednesday. We have a lot of parishioners that work at the courthouse, judges and court personnel. So I felt that the numbers for Ash Wednesday were as strong as they've ever been. So we're off and running.
That's right. And speaking of off and running, look at all these events we've had. Confirmation and reconciliations coming up, youth ministry, Lenten retreat, penance, prayer, and pasta. There's so much happening.
Yes, the Lenten season is filled with opportunities here at the parish to grow spiritually. And I thank you, Terry, for the wonderful calendar that you put in the bulletin and the updates throughout the Lenten season. And I encourage all of you to not let these Lenten days slip away. It seems like 40 days, long time. It may seem initially like an eternity of time before Easter will come, but it'll be here before we know it. So you gotta, get into the groove as soon as you can. We have these wonderful prayer books available in the church that are daily meditations. They can help you. They're reflections on the daily scriptures. They can be very helpful. Try to find a couple of moments of quiet in your house and, take a look at the meditation for the day. Simple things that can make this a season of enormous grace for you.
Yeah, and what I find beautiful is are the Stations of the Cross. And every week it's presented by a different group in the parish.
Right. Each ministry, or many of the ministries, take turns. There are different formats of the stations that we use. The kids in the school earlier in the day on Fridays experience the Stations of the Cross. So it's a beautiful Lenten devotion.
And let's talk about a special visit that we're having this week. Sister Lucia from Ukraine.
Yes, we've been very involved with both Catholic Extension and Catholic Charities, of course, for many years. And our parishioners have been so generous in supporting the programs and outreaches of those two very important organizations. Through the generosity of a number of benefactors, we have been sponsoring some Ukrainian refugee families over the last couple of years. Particularly grateful to Tom Hart, who works with Catholic Charities and setting up an opportunity to assist these recently arrived families that are living in the Glenview area. And Catholic Extension, is primarily focused on the mission needs of the Church in the United States. But because of the extraordinary efforts and needs of the Church in Ukraine, they have been supporting some of the religious communities that are ministering to that war-ravaged country. Sister Lucia comes from a community that's on the front line of many of the most dangerous and battle-scarred regions of Ukraine. And their sisters are going to be in the Chicagoland area on February 25th and February 26th. And I was delighted when I was invited to see if we might host one of the sisters to come and speak to our congregation. She'll be speaking at the 9, the 10:30, and the 12 o'clock Mass on February 25th. And then she'll be speaking to the kids in the school on Monday, February the 26th. February 25th is the second anniversary of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. So it's going to be a very difficult day for anyone of Ukrainian heritage. And we'll be able to hear firsthand some of the work that Sister is doing, her community, in walking with those who are suffering in unbelievable manners as a result of this war. And there'll be an opportunity if people would like to support the efforts of her community. I'm very much looking forward to her visit. I mean, it's sort of talk about living out the theme of our Lenten journey, no greater love. Ukrainian people have been extremely grateful for the worldwide support for them during this time of such suffering. It's one of those times when we can together walk with our brothers and sisters who are suffering in such terrible ways.
And not only will she be speaking at two of the masses, I think after the 9 and 10:30, there'll be a reception, so people can really speak one-on-one with her.
Yes, that's going to be great. She speaks English, so it'll be very easy to communicate with her.
That's really excellent. Great opportunity. Well, before we close, Father, maybe we can just end with some last words about the Lenten and Easter season and how parishioners can make it personal for them.
Thank you, Terry. Lent is a very special time of the year. I've heard a lot of people in the last few days say to me, I really need Lent this year. I got to get my life back on track, or some patterns have emerged in my life that I got to rid myself of. And that's the great invitation of Lent, through prayer, through fasting, through almsgiving, those wonderful disciplines of the Lenten journey. We can really become a better person. And as I said a little bit ago, take advantage of getting into the spirit of the season right now. Not a week from now, not 2 weeks from now, but starting today if you haven't already. And there's so many things. We often think of giving up things for Lent, and there's a great wisdom about that. Some people like to do things more positively, every day holding someone in their family in prayer, being particularly sensitive to repeating things that are of a gossip nature, or trying to build up people rather than to tear them down. I was talking to a parishioner who had this great idea. She said she had gotten a big black garbage bag, and she said, every day I want to put something in that bag that I own that could help somebody, whether it's clothes or something, housewares. Every day I want to do something very practical for someone who's in need. So there's lots of ways to take advantage of this Lenten season. We have Mass, Monday through Friday at 6:30 and at 8:30. Friday afternoon, Friday until 4 o'clock, we have adoration in the chapel. We've got Stations of the Cross on Friday evenings. Reconciliation takes place every Saturday. If that time doesn't work for you, just call the rectory and one of the priests will be happy to visit with you and to celebrate the sacrament. We also have a communal penance service with St. Catherine, Labouré, and St. Norbert's coming up in February. We have a parish mission. We have a wonderful panel discussion on our parish theme, No Greater Love. So there's a lot of stuff happening. Please take advantage of whatever you can and make this the best Lent ever.